For most of our human existence, shopping usually involved leaving the house, seeing and touching the goods on offer, and partaking in a bidding war with strangers in the street. Nowadays, traditional shopping methods are unnecessary. Everything can be done with a touch of a button. And all of that is thanks to the internet and the emergence of e-commerce platforms. Today, I'm going to compare between two different e-commerce platforms, Amazon and Shopee. First, let's look at the general hardware interface requirements for building. The hardware which is required to build a website or app is mainly a PC with the minimum requirements shown on the screen. The most important specification for the PC is the RAM, Random Access Memory, that must at least be 2 GB. The more RAM your PC has, the better and smoother your coding process is. Another hardware needed is an external hard drive for backup purposes. It can store customer data and back up your code in the coding process, preventing you from losing it because of a random crash. Lastly, you will also need a server to host your website or app to make sure that it is available all the time when anyone is trying to access it. Now, let's talk about software requirements required for building. You will need an operating system like Windows 10, Windows XP, Linux, macOS, and so on. Then you will need a web browser like Google, Opera, Safari, and so on, in order to check your website from the customer's perspective. Now we're gonna look for the system development lifecycle. First, you need to decide what your system is going to be and aim for your customer base. Secondly, you need to understand customer requirements and analyze the system. After doing so, you need to convert your system design to an operating system. Next, you will need to deploy the system in customers' premises. And lastly, you will need to be performing periodic system maintenance to ensure that the system does not become obsolete. Now, we're gonna look for the similarities and differences between Shopee and Amazon. One of the points that the two companies have in common is their simple to understand, easy to use UI or user interface. The two platforms both allow everyone to set shop and start selling to visitors for free, and only takes a commission when the shop sells a product. Amazon's user interface for both mobile and desktop should be intuitive and quite easy to use. Everything is clear and understandable. The availability and prices are shown when you click on the wanted item, and an icon is shown if this item is available or not. Shopping on Shopee should generally be intuitive to most people. What you need to do is use the search bar and listed categories on the main page. Then streamline your search further using the search filter. When visiting their websites, they immediately catch your eye with daily offers, discounts, monthly popular product, and much more options to keep you interested as long as they can. The other way to keep your attention are recommendations. For each purchase or search you have done in their website, Amazon and Shopee will store that information as data. This data will then be used by the two companies to propose to you products that may be to your liking. Delivery speed. In the first hand, you have Amazon Prime now that gives you access to locally sourced products that will be delivered to you within 2 hours of your purchase. Not only that, it also offers products sourced internationally with a delivery time of about 2 to 9 days. Shopee has the same delivery options, as the local sellers' delivery time is around 1 to 5 days and international sellers take 1 to 3 weeks. Pricing. Pricing for Amazon is quite competitive, most notably if you're looking for tech products. You can get certain products at a cheaper price on country-specific Amazon sites. Pricing on Shopee. Prices on Shopee are quite similar if not better compared to its rivals. Certain shops are quite known for their competitive pricing. Differences. The scale of the companies. Amazon recorded a revenue of $208 billion in 2019, but Shopee only had a revenue of $2.9 billion in that same year. Amazon has a total of 840,000 employees, but Shopee only has 3,000 employees in total. What Amazon presents different than Shopee is their Prime subscription, Amazon Prime. This monthly subscription-based deal offers you music and videos to stream, priority on delivery, and early access to flash sales and special offers. On the other hand, Shopee presents different shopping options from Amazon. First, we have Shopee Mall, a function that differentiates the brand's official store from the normal seller. It is tagged by a small icon left on top of the product using the word mall, making it easier to differentiate for the user. Another function offered by Shopee is Shopee Preferred, a function that Shopee uses to filter sellers, leaving only the shops with the highest ratings. There are many flaws for Shopee which can be improved by the company. Although Shopee collaborates with over 70 courier providers, Shopee can actually have their own logistics. This will benefit the user by having multiple ways to ship their products from the warehouse. Furthermore, this will develop a perfect supply chain, giving Shopee a bigger access to the market. In other ways, getting them a bigger market share. Shopee's servers and UI user interface present some issues that could harm the customer experience. What Shopee can improve on in this place is their information system. Lastly, the transparency of the Shopee store proved to be the biggest issue on the platform. The seller can pay a daily sum of money to Shopee. The platform will then make the store's product on top of the category tagged preferred on it. This will harm the customer experience because the customer won't be getting the best Shopee can offer due to the seller boosting their ratings and so boosting their sales. In order to solve this issue, Shopee should verify if the seller's shop meets the requirements for Shopee Preferred instead of him essentially bribing them to get higher ratings. Ethical issues. Doing a transaction online can expose your privacy. The company or a hacker can steal all of the informations that you just put in, like your credit card information or your address and so on. Next, product quality. When you're shopping online, you never know whether the product is of good quality or not. The only thing that we will rely on is on the seller's honesty. Scamming often takes place after the customer purchased a wanted item. After the transaction, the seller can either send you an unwanted, cheaper item or just not send you anything and pocket the money that he basically stole from you. In conclusion, Shopee and Amazon can be depicted as the perfect examples on e-commerce platforms done right. Their ease of use and accessibility makes it available and understandable for all ages and all classes of people. They don't overload the visitor with too much information, and they know how to attract buyers.